walk there.
Like working out there.
Really discouraged us from it because of marathon.
Flexibility.
Somebody else did.
And it's casual. So if you want to wear anything
I think I got it. Thank you.
And it's camera set up to see animals. I started watching it for eagles at freedom but then I actually watched and that's my favorite because these are not although his sister they don't see what the only thing they eat is salmon, so they follow the salmon route and they come into this area in the summer. And I love watching it. Like yesterday we were watching orcas along there. And brown bears. There's another one in Alaska, another site where it's somebody was looking at it. And you can see the bears in the streams and rivers catching the salmon that are trying to swim upstream. Yeah, it's really cool. Explore that.
Well, Masters is.
They just sit there. They just ran out.
It's racing.
Delivery, they're just switching.
Yeah, they're just
Trying to get.
Maybe it was a private club.
They fill up their gear.
So we started watching.
But she had to stop swimming and she just,
That one it's harder to watch because we got used to with
Well, why don't you go with
subtitles. Well, because they don't dub it. It's just like extraordinary. That was so we were used to that, and all of a sudden now we just have to read the subtitles.
We just like the subtitles for everything. We never do it.
Well, this one I don't think I can do it.
after the first one, I felt
No.
Well, they're longer. They're longer than.
especially if you do it.
A little bit more.
Yeah, they're like close to 90 minutes.
and it hadn't been that
The
long.
thing that I don't like is I get confused. So
You'll be ready for
Shalom.
pick a walk.
Yeah, that was a long time coming, so let's do that again. Shabbat Shalom! I love that. I missed you guys. We missed you. Nice to see you. We got some newlyweds there. Oh my God, are they glowing? Look at that. For the, you know what you get to do as newlyweds the whole year? You can use honey on your challah. That's the tradition. You get, everyone else has to use salt, but newlyweds get honey. And I'm so grateful to have Harvey here leading with me. And Adam, this is his last service before he has to head back to college. But he's excited. We're part of his training as he goes and continues towards his profession. And he's got his parents here looking out for him, so we'll always have a warm place in his heart and our heart no matter what. All right, and so someone asked for poems, so I'm going to read a couple over the course of my sabbatical. You might ask, where did you go? What did you do? Mostly I stayed in the area. I did a lot of writing. I spent a lot of time with family. We went to the Jersey Shore. We went whitewater rafting. I went to the kids' camp. And it was a very rejuvenating time. And I'm so appreciative of the congregation and the congregants. Thank you for giving me the space, but also for just being so wonderful as you are. It really warmed my heart. It was hard for me actually to be away, but I'm glad to actually have that time. So this is called Tracing Leaves.
Oh, no, don't play that.
Wish I could trace the line of the sun as it perches flat across the dull green, leaving leaves making them shine. Wish I could hold you in the moment of leaving as your soul lifts out flat from parched lips into unknown waters. Wish I could tell you things may get better, even if all you will ever get is the flat sun momentarily caught in a bramble of dull green leaves. We're going to begin with a poem to Shabbat. It's called Ma Yafeh Hayom. It's very simple. It's on, Pete, I forgot to write the page. 128, there you go. And it is a round, so we will try to do that. And Harvey is going to lead.
Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom. Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
All right, I was trying, but Browns and I don't always get along very well. So why don't we have, do the biters want to come up for Adam's final Shabbat? Why don't you come up and light our fuse? I was very nervous it was going to start pouring rain. Not only because we would give up being under the tent, but if you have a chance, we have no seats in our sanctuary. I called Todd up, who had helped to remove all the seats so we can get new carpeting in there. And I wrote to him, I think it's raining. And he wrote back, no! But looks like he said, you better go quickly through the service. Because the rain is somewhere on the horizon. Page let's see, what is it? 120, there we go. Page 120, and we'll have, we get to switch the lights on. Did you want to say the blessing? Sure. Why don't you do it here?
Baruch atah Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehavit ner shel
turn to Kiddush, page 123, and we'll have Harvey lead us as we sanctify the day of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'yahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila v'mikra'ei kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim Kivanu v'acharta v'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim Shabbat kodshecha v'yava uv'ratzon
I wanted to let you know I did talk to Bruce today, and I think he's probably watching, but Bruce is doing great. He was very enthusiastic. He said his treatment, everything is going terrifically, and he expects to be back when we're back inside. So it's going to be great, and we'll see about doing the announcements, but just having him there, I told him it would be such an uplift, and hearing his voice back to where it was, it was a real joy. So I want to read another poem. This one is called Toast. Let the bread left in the toaster let the bread left in the toaster burn. The cracked egg that slid into the cracks between the burners stay caked into the sheet iron. The dirty black socks behind the closet door lie balled up. The stack of dishes from last night's dinner remain lined with grease. The dust balls collected in the vestibule blow across the floor. That's just the kind of day, week, year it's been. Even my mother couldn't get me to clean it up. Even God. I'm sure that's exactly how they, the eternal spirit of the universe, felt when, after putting everything carefully in place, Adam and Eve had to go ahead and eat that piece of fruit. Sometimes the world can flood. The sun can hide behind the clouds, and nothing you had on your list of things to do can get done. Yet you and the whole rest of the world will be okay. Even so, if none of those other things get done by next Tuesday, or the Tuesday after that, or after that, and on until the end of the world, or at least until I have the energy to stand up and start cleaning my room. Just a little humor to start with. Lachado D is on page 138. Let's see, we're going to do first.
It's all Zoom. Yeah, one first and last.
First and last, and we're going to do some Zoom.
That's what's on your outline.
Okay, well there you go. See, that's what I wrote. So first and last, on the last verse we rise and we look out at the beautiful field. Then we bow to Shabbat and we greet one another by waving, and I think you got the message.
Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela la 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 la. Lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor bezachor v'yikor echad, hishmi'anu el amicha, Adonai echad u'shemo echad. L'shem v'litiferet v'liti la 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 la. Lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Boi b'shalom ateret ba'ala, gam b'simcha u'b'tzolala, toch emunei am segula. Boi kala,
Welcome one another.
likrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. La 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 la.
And we remain standing for our call of prayer, the Baruch Hu, page 146.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Hu Adonai HaMevorach. HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. HaMevorach. HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
And we turn to words from this week's Torah portion, page 152, the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod, Malchuto, Le'olam va'ed.
You may be seated and continue over the Haftarah. We're going to have Adam come just to be able to hear his voice. That is always wonderful for him to lead.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
You will definitely be missed. Let's read together on 155. This is an interpretation of the Hebrew we just recited, the first paragraph from this week's Torah portion. And I want you to really just pay attention to the central message. This is the central message of Judaism. And later on, we're going to follow on back. I'm going to talk about what it means. But let's read this interpretive reading of it and really incorporate, what does it mean? What is our faith telling us to do? So together. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you are tired or rested. Let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot, so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai, your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai, your God. So as we're looking at them, what do you think are the principles that come from that? What are we being told we need to do based on what we just read? What is the essential nature of this Jewish faith that we're part of? What do you think? Yeah, Russ. Being holy. And how are we holy? Performing mitzvot, doing commandments. What kind of things? Yeah. Being a good person. Teaching your children. Is anything on this list Anything that, is this something every single person is capable of doing? Does it require anything superhuman? Oh, Linda's not sure. There are a lot of it. Well, I think in the Shema, it's really only focused on the Shema. But just being able to say these words over and over again. But you're right, if you start going on the whole list, it can be overwhelming. But each little bit matters. So we're going to come back to that later, but I want you to hold on to that until a little bit later in the service. Let's continue with Bichamocha, the other section from Torah, page 158, and we go back to Exodus and the crossing of the sea.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, מלכותך ראו עמך, פוקע ים, לפני משה ים, זה לי ימנו ויאמרו, אדוני ימלוך, אדוני ימלוך, לעולם ועד. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו.
I invite you to rise for the Amidah, the standing prayer. We're going to come find whatever is a comfortable space for you to address God. We're going to have some moments of silence from 164 to 180. But take your time and say the prayers that you need to say tonight. Page 180, Oseh Shalom.
Oseh Shalom b'mroma, Uyaseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu. Kol Yisrael, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Mi'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Mi'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Mi'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Mi'al Kol Yisrael.
That prayer for peace, may God bring peace to us now. It's needed more than ever, so I hope that our words go right up to God. Now we're going to turn to our healing prayer, Misha Barak, page 371. One of the hardest things going away is knowing there's still a lot of people in our community or extended community in need of healing. These are things that in our lives, whether it's our own personal suffering that we go through or those of our friends or our family or extended community, those things you can't take a respite from. They're always with us. They're heavy on our hearts when we feel it, especially our loved ones, when we feel their suffering. And for us, I think it's hard for us as well. So let's say these prayers as a way of showing that we care, but also extending something out into the world. It's not, we're not doctors here, maybe some of us are, but we're allowing that healing to happen. I'm going to read our list, which is always way too long. Our list here, I have the yard site list, that's not the right list, okay. We are thinking as a community of Neil Agneta, Diane Alphas, Paul Ames, John Binder, Hope Bongiorno, Reverend Jim Callan, Ethan Carvalho, Alan and Karen Cooper, Bruce Corris, Zoe Ferraro, Gloria Fine, Rabbi Yunina Foster, Sue Frank, Barbara Frieda, Carol Gettings, Denise and Jared Gilden, Carolyn and Ernie Grosser, Hillary Kerman, Maya Ruth Corin Matlock, Miles Levy, Gail Lewis, Jake Lipshin, Anthony Lagalbo, Janine Morris, Shelby Madsen, Michael Malik, Terry Miller, Judy Osowitz, Shannon Perry, Marty Ralabate, Sharon Rosenthal, Cheryl Rossi, Cindy Rotella, Beverly Rovner, David Rovner, Brandon Ryan, Eric Sibeda, Joni Schwartz, Wyatt, Alexander Simpson, Gary Spiceman, Malia Sugarman, Enav Simons, Rex Tarman, Robin Weinstein, Mike Wheeler, Gail Zaretsky, Yonatan Bat Devorah, Rifke Bat Nancy, Abigail Bat Ray, Yosef Ben Zissel, Shmuel Ben Miriam, Hindasar Bat Rachel, Hannah Ezra Ben Shul, Liba Bat Rachel, and Shoshana Bat Liba. If you have other names, just raise your hand and we'll go around.
Jackie Ellen, Bernie Weinstein.
Muriel Siegel and Brody Payton. Peter Astron.
Code Jumper and Marshall Sitcom.
Batami Batshulamit and Stelfani. Barbara Crixton is watching in Toronto, and she's in the process of preparing for 2 concurrent surgeries coming up real soon.
We're thinking about you, Barbara. All right, we'll send all of our prayers out to the people that are needed in our space here right now or outside in the world, and I hope that they're heard as we sing the Misha Barak.
Visherach Avoteinu Mekor HaBracha Le'imotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misherach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha L'Avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
A complete healing of body and soul. May our prayers again go out towards them. So before we look back at the V'ahavta, we have Todd here. Todd, let's give Todd a round of applause for he cleared all those chairs in the sanctuary. How long did that
Couple more
take?
weeks, guys. Couple more weeks. Next Monday we have this gentleman putting in our carpeting.
Yeah, that's right.
Wonderful. The carpeting will go in next month, not this Monday, the following Monday. And then September 3rd to the 6th, they're going to bring in all the new seating. And then new windows. They're taking out the stained glass windows, they're putting the windows. That'll be done too. So everything will be done before High House. And we finally got a rabbi. Look at that.
Todd, we were going to have you lead. So let's look back at page 155, 154. I told you this is kind of the essence, especially we're in the book of Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy is a hard book. It's Moses kind of reflecting back on his whole life, all the regrets he has. This portion of the Et Hanan begins with him, God, I'm going to ask you again. You know, I have children at home, and they're always asking, even after you tell them no, what they ask again. Yeah, my youngest child, I call him one more boy because every single time, can I just have one more time? So that's kind of like Moses here. He wants to still go into the promised land. He knows it's been permitted, but he's asking again. And God finally says, you know, this is the last time. You know, when the parent gets to that point, no more. I'm not good at that phase, but no more. But in this portion, which has all of kind of Moses' regrets, we also get kind of the recipe for what this Jewish enterprise is going to be. It's going to be different than anything that has come before. It's going to emphasize things that are very, very different. And the V'ahavta and the Shema, which is, so the way it works is the Shema, that's in the Torah. The Baruch Shem Kavod, that's not. That's why we say it quietly. And then the V'ahavta, which is the first paragraph here. That third paragraph comes from a different section of the Torah. That second paragraph, sorry. But the V'ahavta really is the essence of what our ancestors were trying to tell us. And they were trying to tell us, live each day with purpose. Find your passion. Love, not just God, love this world, this life you're given with a passion. Take these words, the words that your ancestors passed down to you, take them on your way. Whether you're at work, or whether you're just on the way, whether you're going to bed, or you're waking up, take them wherever you are. Do the things, do what is necessary to create a holy, I think it was Erev that said it, a holy community together. That's what it means. And sometimes these words, it can feel, as Linda said, it can feel a little overwhelming. 613 commandments, that's something that developed later in the Middle Ages. But that sense of, well, we have a lot. It's really hard to be human. We have a lot of things we have to do every day of our lives. Nowadays, we live longer too, so there's a lot that we have to do day in, day out. And it can really feel overwhelming. But what our ancestors were asking us to do was just to approach each day just on the little things. Focus on the minutia, the one little thing. As I always tell myself usually when I'm trying to encourage myself, is that, just try to accomplish one positive thing every day. If you can accomplish one positive thing, it is a positive day. Doesn't matter what happened, because a lot of things happens over the course of our day. If you do one positive thing, help one person, make one thing that's different, it makes a huge difference. I was thinking of this during the Olympics, actually. How many of you had a chance to watch the Olympics? This was one of my favorite Olympics ever, I think. It not only would you, if you had the Peacock or you could watch on TV, not only was it pretty easy to watch all the events as it was happening, it's only 7 hours difference also, but the athletes did so well. It was the first time after COVID, so there was just a sense of joy. Last Olympics in Tokyo, people couldn't be together. Of course, our Jewish hearts, it was hard and also uplifting. There was a big Israeli contingent, and of course politics came to play in there. But regardless, it just felt very uplifting. Paris, which is a beautiful city, the population could be a little dour sometimes, but they really came out and they felt such enthusiasm. I love basketball, so I was this is probably the most exciting international basketball tournament that's been. A long time ago, you might remember the Dream Team in '92. Back then, the world didn't really play basketball, or they didn't play it the way we play. But they've caught up, and they're quite good, and some of the best players are around the world, literally around the world. The Americans still is the strongest team, and they've continued to win the gold medals, but not for so long. But this team was a particularly good team. It had LeBron James on it, and Steph Curry, all these some of the greatest players of all time. And at the end of the gold medal against France, and they have Victor Wembanyama, and he's an up-and-coming star. He's 7'4", makes everyone look, he's still growing. This guy could touch the top of this tent, and he's still going, and he's faster than any of us. That's incredible. He literally snatches the ball from the top of the rim as if without jumping, I think. But at the end of the game, it got to be a little bit close, and Stephen Curry, who's been a star of the year, he's someone who's he's like us. He's like a regular person. Not that, like, if he was sitting here, you wouldn't notice, he wouldn't immediately say, oh, you're a basketball player. Because he's like 6'1", 6'2". In basketball terms, he's little, but he works incredibly hard. And he takes every part of his skill and his moxie and everything. And his father was an NBA player too, and his brother, and he's got a lot in him. And he works very, very hard to achieve what he does. At the end of the game, and he hit these 4 incredible three-pointers with less than 3 minutes to go that really sealed the game. One was more amazing than the last. The last one, he was shooting over the 7, Victor Wembanyama, and also Nicholas Batum. He was shooting over them, even though all the other players were open. He was so hot, he took it and he made it. It was probably one of the greatest shots of all time. And afterwards, Mike Tirico is a longtime host for NBC. He got to interview Stephen Curry. And he asked the question, which I loved. It just perked up my rabbinic ears. He said, for the millions of us who will never feel what you feel, what is it like when you get the ball back in your hand and you know you're cooking? It's a great question. What does it feel like? We can't feel that. And Stephen Curry says, it's just get to your spot, be under control. You've taken those types of shots countless times in the gym, It's just being decisive. You live with the results. There's a lot of faith in it. You live with the results. Thankfully, the work took over. I love this quote because ultimately, because he must be afraid too. Like, I think everyone gets afraid. But the way a basketball player or an athlete, they just do the same thing repetitively over and over and over and over again. They're there 6 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock at night, shooting and shooting and shooting from the same spots. And they just almost pretend there's no one there. Their body just takes over. And it's about doing the same thing that we're not going to do it at the level that he can. I mean, I can barely jump. You know, he has to still jump high enough and shoot it in a certain way. But I can shoot a three-pointer. A lot of people could shoot a three-pointer. But he does it. He's done it so much, it doesn't matter. It just kind of takes over. And it seems to me that's the lesson of the V'ahavta. That's what we are being told by our tradition. It's not magic. It's not rocket science. Oh, I'm sorry, Walter. It's really just about doing the repetitive things every day. And that is hard. As Linda said, it is hard. It is not easy to try to do, we're not always at our best. Sometimes we're not feeling right. Sometimes the world around us is crashing down. Sometimes everything is going wrong, like my poem, Toast, everything. Sometimes it's like that, but we still need to just, in those moments, like Stephen Curry, just follow what we've always been doing. Trust it. Trust in our community together, that we don't have to do it alone. One of the things I did on my sabbaticals, I read a little bit, and read for pleasure. There's a wonderful book, Have a Little Faith by Mitch Albom. Mitch Albom, who grew up in my area, and he is a graduate of my high school. I got to meet him once. He came to one of the events at the high school. And he was a sports reporter, but he came and he started getting deeper and finding all these human interest stories. This is a really interesting book. It came out around 2009. It's about his relationship with his childhood rabbi, Albert Lewis. It's a synagogue, Beth Shalom. It's a big synagogue in Cherry Hill. Cherry Hill is right outside of Philadelphia where I grew up. And there's these massive, I've been in these synagogues. They seat thousands. I mean, they're like 3 Beth Zions, let's say. They're huge and beautiful buildings. And I didn't really know much about them. And so I got to learn. It's about his rabbi is dying, and he wants Mitch Albom to actually give his eulogy. And it's about Mitch kind of, how can I give a eulogy? It's not, even though he's a writer, it's not something he normally gives. And this is his childhood home. So much so, even when he lives in Detroit, he comes back to it. Because this is the only synagogue that he feels connected to. It's like Shir Shalom. We have people from all over that come into our stream. It's connected, it's ingrained. This is the person that has been his rabbi the entirety of his life. He's been at this synagogue. It was a small upstart synagogue, and he's been there for 6 decades at this point. He's passed. That's what the book's about. I'm sorry to reveal that, but it's really about that kind of longevity. I'm going to read a little bit from the epilogue. I don't think it gives away a lot. You know that he's going to die at the end, but this really gets to Albert Lewis's philosophy, which I loved, and he's very down-to-earth rabbi. So he says, not long before the Reb, he calls him the Reb, passed, he was talking about heaven, and suddenly, for some reason, I had a notion. What if you only get 5 minutes with God? 5 minutes, he said. This is the Reb. 5 minutes, I said. God is busy. Here's your slice of heaven. 5 minutes alone with the Lord, and then poof, you go on, and whatever happens next. And in those 5 minutes, he asked, intrigued, in those 5 minutes, you can ask anything you want. Okay. He pushed back into the chair, as if consulting the air around him. First, I would say, do me a favor, God in heaven. If you can, members of my family who need help, Please show them the way on earth, guide them a little. I think that a lot of us, when we die, that's what we would ask. We would want our family. I think that's the hardest thing about dying, is we can't take care of our family or loved ones anymore. Okay, that's a minute. The next 3 minutes, I'd say, Lord, give these to someone who is suffering and requires your love and counsel. You give up those 3 minutes. If someone truly needs it, yes. Okay, I said, this still leaves you a minute. All right, in that final minute, I would say, look, God, I've done X amount of good on earth. I have tried to follow your teachings and to pass them on. I have loved my family. I've been part of my community. And I have been, I think, a fairly good to people. So, Heavenly Father, for all this, what is my reward? And what do you think God will say? That's Mitch. He smiled. He'll say, reward? What reward? That's what you were supposed to do. I love that message. That, it's hard. It's hard sometimes. Sometimes someone cuts you off. That happened to me yesterday. I was with my daughter who's learning to drive. I was driving straight and someone on the turn line decided to turn right in front of me. I said, I've never seen that before. But, despite all of that, we have to try to be a good person, try to be good community members. And, that's the message of the Vihavta. That's the message of Stefan Curry. That's the message of why we're together. That's why it feels so good to be here together. That's why some of us look forward to coming here, because it reinforces that sense of community, that sense of purpose, that sense that we can do that little thing, that one step, that one little thing that's going to make a difference. So I encourage all of us to continue to look out for each other. Let's make that happen. We don't have to shoot as good as Steph Curry, but let's continue to try, and I think that'll make all the difference. So I asked Harvey to sing something from this past week. It was Tisha B'Av, which is our saddest holiday. But there's a song that I love so much, and it's the saddest poem in the Psalms, but I love it and it brings me joy. And I hope it doesn't make you sad. It's called 674. It's on page 674, By the Rivers of Babylon, the Waters of Babylon. And I was so looking forward to it. Harvey said, I think I heard you singing it in the bathroom. And that is true, I did.
By the rivers of Babylon. Al Neharot Babel, Sham Yashavnu, there we sat, Gam Bachinu, we also wept. V'zochreinu et Zion, when we remembered Zion. V'zochreinu et Zion, Shiru lanu mishirei Zion, sing for us the songs from Zion. Shiru lanu mishirei Zion, Ech nashir, how can we sing? Al admat nechar, on a strange land. Shiru lanu mishirei Zion, Shiru lanu mishirei Zion, mi ech nashir al admat nechar, al admat nechar. Babylon, there we sat down, yeah, we wept when we remembered Zion. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down, yeah, we wept when we remembered Zion. When the wicked carried us away in captivity, requiring from us a song. How can we sing the Lord's song in a strange land? When the wicked carried us away in captivity, requiring from us a song. How can we sing the Lord's song in a strange land? By the rivers of Babylon, by the rivers of Babylon, yeah, we wept when we remembered Zion. Let the words of our mouths and the meditations of our heart be acceptable in thy sight here tonight. Let the words of our mouth and the meditation of our heart be acceptable in thy sight here tonight. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down, yeah, we wept when we remembered Zion. Ooh, ooh, ooh,
We turn to Aleinu, page 586. I invite you to rise. It's not enough for us just to pray. We need to go out and do good deeds. We'll let Harvey get stuff.
Aleinu l'shapeach l'adon l'kol, l'atei tegula v'yotzer Bereshit, shelo asanu k'goyei haratzot, v'lo samanu mishkachot ha'adamah, shelo sam chalkeinu kahen, v'gor aleinu
Page 591. You may be seated. I've just noticed it says, "Welcome back, Rabbi Allen." Let's turn to the Mourner's Kaddish, page 598. We are remembering Richard LeBaire and Aaron Nebler, who died in the last month. Richard is Erwin Burstein's brother-in-law. Yard site list from years past to remember Philip Ackerholt, Albert Bann, Minnie Becker, Malcolm D. Brutman, Benjamin Bush, Mary Carosella, Eva Edelman, Irving Faden, Max Philip Finkelstein, Louis Glickman, Susan Goldhirsch, Ernest Grosser, Louis Mayer Eisenberg, George Kerman, Jack Landau, Marion Lieberman, Aaron Lippman, Saul Myers, Benjamin Pesakow, Simon Perel, Lorraine Pleskow, David Pohl, Elliot Rosenthal, Pearl Schuchart, Edward Schulafan, Leanne Silverberg, Benjamin Smith, Grace P. Stern, Chester Strickler, Faye Hall, Gussie Z. Ungerleader, Morton Wakeoff, Jacob Weiner, Boris Weisbrot, Manuel S. Winston, Nancy Zimbel, and Viola Zilakowski. If there's other names.
Lloyd Silverman, and for all those people who have no one to say comment for them.
All the Israeli soldiers that are hospital.
Those whose custom it is to rise, page 598. Yikadal, Yikadash, Shmei Rabbah, Yalmad, Yivrach, Yirateh, Yamlik, Malchuteh, V'chayechon, V'yomechon, V'chayei, V'cholei Yisrael, V'agalah, Yizman Karev, V'yimru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah, Yivrach, V'yolam, Omer, Maya. Yivarak, Yishavach, Yifar, Yitkalam, Yitnaseh, Yitadar, Yitaleh, Yitalal, Shnei, Kedusha, V'richu, Leila, Mikol, Birchata, V'shirata, Tush, V'chata, V'nechamata, Damimram, V'yomah, V'yimru, Amen. Yehei Shlam Rabbah, Min Shaya, V'chaim, Alei, V'yakol, Yisrael, V'yimru, Amen. Osei Shalom, V'yimramah. Shalom, Aleinu Yalkol Yisrael, May the one who creates harmony and high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all the world. And we say, Amen. You may be seated. And let's see. Joanne is going to offer the announcements. I want to thank Joanne for all of her help while I was away and making sure the roof didn't cave in.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. We hope you enjoyed our outdoor service. There's only 2 left after tonight. And we have a special welcome back to Rabbi Alex. We missed you. Very special thank you to Sherry Jo Reich for sponsoring our new iPhone to enable us to stream services in the best quality possible. Thank you so much, Sherry Jo. And thank you to our service greeter, Amy O'Donnell. We appreciate your help. Amy does a lot of things as president of Women of Shir Shalom. We'd also like to thank Rabbi Alex and Harvey Horowitz for a special service in honor of Shabbat, and thank you to Adam Biter for our wonderful sound setup. There is Torah study tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. at Temple Besedek or via their Zoom, followed by the Shabbat morning service at 10:45, also at Temple Besedek. The August Tikkun Olam collection is for teachers' desk. School and craft supplies may be dropped off in the baskets before Erev Shabbat services at the entryway of the temple. The women of Shir Shalom are invited to the summer planning party this Sunday at noon at the home of Marina and Mark Finkelstein. See Julia Cohan if you have any questions. We're very happy to share that the temple office was renovated this past month. We would love to share a new space with you, so please stop by. Thank you to everyone who volunteered and or purchased Shavuos. It will be back on Tuesday, August 27th from 4 to 7. You can pre-order on our website and save $1. I'll see you in the drive-thru line. There is a weekly walk for hostages on Sundays in honor of Bring Them Home Now. You can meet at the tennis courts near the bike path on North Forest Road at 10 a.m. Join us next Friday at 6 p.m. for a very special Erev Shabbat service and the B'nai Mitzvah of Hannah and Elise Black. Outdoors, weather permitting. There will be an expanded Oneg Shabbat. Please join us. The next ballroom dancing class will be on Thursday, August 22nd, which is also the instructor's birthday, so come and celebrate with us. We are in the process of creating the Book of Remembrance to be passed out on Yom Kippur on Saturday, October 12th. The deadline for submissions is August 23rd. Any submissions received after the due date will be included in a future issue of High Notes, our newsletter. If you need a form, they are included in the email and outside the temple office. Save the date, our last outdoor service for Jamaica Farewell. Friday, August 30th at 6 p.m. It'll be followed by our end of summer cookout and an Oneg Shabbat sponsored by Cantor Frank in honor of the Jamaica Farewell participants. Please RSVP to me if you'd like to join us. We would also like to thank Adam Biter for all of his expert sound help at our outdoor Erev Shabbat services and for the lovely service he led.
We wish you a good year back at college and a happy 21st birthday. If you need anything, please feel free to reach out to Rabbi Alex. He's back. Todd or myself. We are here for you, and we hope that Cantor Frank is enjoying her vacation. I'd like to mention that in 2007, there was a member with a vision who wanted to have worship services and events outdoors on our property. We are very fortunate and grateful to be able to offer this to our congregation, thanks to the vision and generosity of Todd Sugarman, our president. Thank you, Todd. We would also like to congratulate our police officer, Larry Wana, as he was promoted to detective. As we say, Mazel Tov. Please join us for the Onik Shabbat, sponsored by Damon and Susan Biter, to celebrate summer services under the tent. If you'd like to sponsor an Onik for an occasion or no occasion at all, please let me know. Shabbat Shalom and Am Yisrael Chai.
I just want to say one thing. I want to talk about the rabbi. You know, most rabbis when they
Go
want
up to the microphone.
Yeah, because now he's going to embarrass me. Just keep him over there.
Me of all people, you can.
I just want to tell you that this man goes on sabbatical. Most, there's rabbis that go on sabbatical you never hear from. You could call him at any time and he'll always answer. And I just want you to know he's always here for us. Just want you to know. Thank you.
Feeling is mutual, Todd, and we have a wonderful congregation. We take care of each other, and that's what it means, you know. We're going to turn to 625, Don Olam, and I think Harvey's got something special cooked up. Is it a call and response one? Okay, so call and response.
Adon Olam,
Adon Olam,
Asher Malach,
Asher Malach,
Terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Yitnasa, V'chetzo Kol,
Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam,
Arei Kichlot HaKol, Levado Yimlot Nara Adon Olam, Vehu Haya, Vehu Hoved, Vehu Yiyeh B'Tifara Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, Asher Malach, B'Terem Kol, B'Terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Ve'et Nasa, V'chetzo Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, Vehu Echad, Ve'en Sheni, Laham Shilo Lahachbira Adon Olam, Ve'li Reshit, Ve'li Tachlit, Ve'lo Ha'oz Ve'ham Yisra Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, Asher Malach, Terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Ve'et Nasa, V'chetzo Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, Vehu Eli, V'chai Goali, V'tzor Chadli V'yetzara Adon Olam, Vehu Nisi, Umanosli, Menakosi B'yom Ekra Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, Asher Malach, Terem Kol, Terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Ve'et Nasa, V'chetzo Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, V'yado Afkid Ruchi, V'yet Ishan V'ya'ira Adon Olam, V'im Ruchi Geviati, Adonai li v'lo ira Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, Asher Malach, Terem Kol, Terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Ve'et Nasa, V'chetzo Kol, Azai Melech
since I said about the challah and the honey, so we're going to give you some challah, our newlyweds, Jim and Lindy. You want to come up and say the blessing? When I went whitewater rafting in the summer, there was a nice couple. They were holding hands. I wanted to say, "Are you newlyweds?" I was too. I thought I embarrassed them. All right. Oh yeah, that's okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. As you came in peace, may you leave in peace. Please return your prayer books to Amy over there and enjoy our own egg sponsored by the Biters. Shabbat Shalom.
I was out looking at furniture today.
I get the prize. Well, if you get married, you get one trophy. Huh? Well, you missed it.
It's funny.
Oh, yes. And my dog growled? Yes. That. Jim, do you remember I told you that I met somebody, I was in tears, and there was a nice couple, but I was really upset because Zebby growled at them.
They growled at them?
Yes.
Oh my God.
He's really a good dog. Okay, I'll take your word for
Well,
it.
he really is a good dog.
He does look like he was.
He looked like a bear to me, especially his color.
Thank you for coming in for me. Deborah Fine.
No, I had no idea. I didn't remember about it. But I do know Casey.
Yes. Lovely.
Okay, so we know somebody.
I know her